Alright, and we're recording. Episode 1, I'm on Spreaker, testing through the web interface today, and provisional title for the new series is Proud Bastard. Exciting week for everyone, with the Berkeley riots the day before Easter last week, or, the Berkeley counter-protest that we saw, really starting to break through to the mainstream. No longer fringe stuff, no longer internet stuff, no longer alt-right kind of stuff. But I'm just going to get into this episode, Lost Generations. And so I feel like individualism, credentialism, hypergamy, cosmopolitanism, these are some of my notes. I'm reading from my notes right now. Just to kick off the conversation, let's see. They've kind of disrupted the natural rhythm of population growth. So my political ideology basically comes from demographics, economics, and culture, and studying everything as a system, and really not being ideological, being open to different alternatives, understanding there are different ways to govern society or to structure society, with various costs and benefits. But the important thing is to see everything as an interdependent system. So that's the basis of how I see things. And so when you see changes in population growth, changes in demographics, and parts of the middle class shifting down, it has a huge impact for society. And those changes are more important than people's closely held beliefs on certain wedge issues, which I think really dominates political discourse. So in a way, we have these really real facts of demographic change, multicultural change, aging society. Women are having more wealth, delayed family formation. What causes it? Because college is so expensive, and private colleges is something that the rich people like to do. So much consumption, need to consume a lot of money, no matter how rich you are, basically. Individualism, this idea of credentialism, hypergamy is really what changes it. So in the past, before birth control, there was like assortative mating, where people would kind of match up with someone who was of similar maybe attractiveness, or maybe had a similar lifestyle or shared values. Now people generally wait until people are more established in their career, which creates huge delayed family formation, and reduced family formation. So let's see. Just the huge impact on society is what I'm all about. I'm not about judging and saying, oh, you have to go out and have kids, it's your duty, but understand what the impact is going to be. And so, since we're not really talking about these long-term trends like futurism and stuff like that, most of the political discourse ends up talking about wedge issues, right? Kind of third rail topics almost dominate politics at this point. And so when you think about third rail topics or wedge issues, right off the bat, you're talking about abortion, gun crime, criminal justice, drug war, education, and healthcare, right? I mean, those are kind of like big issues, and also big wedge issues. And of course, the other one is race. But what I'm saying here is that all the other ones are actually really tied to race. So the idea is that, abortion is a controversial topic, but what a lot of people aren't seeing is the impact of it. So there are a lot of people who are pro-life who don't necessarily understand what would happen if you did make access to abortion criminalized. And so, there's a lot of people who believe in the sanctity of life, but the synthesis of with the pro-choice people is that there would be some really bad social demographic changes if access to abortion was restricted. So, the way our current laws are set up is that it's a welfare state. You can get by if you're poor, if you know the system. So, not really a good way to grow the population overall if you allow unrestricted and encourage unrestricted population growth. So all the pro-life people, I don't think they really understand what would happen demographically if there was no abortion, and if every young, poor or, low income or, single parent household type, young girl was not able to have access to this. The behaviors wouldn't change to a degree. So you're going to have an enormous demographic shift. Elements of society are just going to reproduce, take advantage of, that base level subsistence. And it's not to judge them. That could be, within their best interest, essentially, and then in the best interest of their genetics and, that kind of thing. So it's not to judge them and say that they have to have our values. The point is to understand what the impact it has on the overall system. And when you have that, so many people on welfare, the idea is that it creates a drain on the system, and there are some pretty big problems with that.